This was never about people coming here legally. It wasn't. Documented, undocumented. 77 million people went to the voting booth and voted for a child molester, a convicted felon, tax fraud, cheats on his wife, calls women fat, calls women ugly. Very fine people on both sides to white supremacists. Had dinner with Nick Fuentes, a white supremacist. His fragile little ego because his daddy didn't love him when he was a kid. Couldn't handle losing an election, so he lied. And ginned up his racist, concepts of brains, white trailer park trash base, and caused an insurrection that led to the death of 5 officers. And you said, yep, that's my guy. You know why? Because he told me he's going to take care of the brown people coming from Mexico. Oh, that's rich. That's rich. That's your guy. He's okay, right? He's okay. But the brown people coming from Mexico who were hard workers, who aren't felons, who don't assault people, who pay their taxes, who have raised their kids here, you're fine zip tying them, beating them, Black Hawk helicopters, demonizing them, making videos, insulting them. Somehow it's okay because you're sick people. You're white supremacists. And Donald Trump said, take off your white hoods and put on your red hats. Don't be afraid to be a racist and open anymore. That's all this is. Why do you think he's taken away the history of slavery in the Smithsonian? Why does this country worship a racist podcaster who said that the blacks are taking the whites' jobs, that great white replacement theory, who said Justice Jackson was a DEI hire. Ooh, if I go into an airplane and he's black, do I know that they're qualified? Ooh, Harris is Black Hillary. We worship that white man. But if you take a knee and peacefully protest at a football game, you're a son of a bitch and you never get to work again. Oh, if you're white and you beat police officers, hey, you're a patriot. You get to be pardoned. You see the difference? Because it was never about people being here documented or undocumented. It is about part of this country that's afraid of a white minority. That is it. Nothing more. And on that side note, I am sick and tired of these white left-wing bros, the Brian Cohens and the Midas Touches, and I don't give a shit if you have 800 billion viewers, that you refuse to address this because you're whores to capitalism. Oh, did she say this? Is this the end? Oh, is this the end of Caroline Leavitt? Oh, will she be arrested? Clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. You know exactly what the problem is, but you don't want to have that conversation because you want to be whores to capitalism. Martin Luther King said that a leader is not a searcher of consensus, they're a molder of consensus. Those people, they're searchers of consensus because they want to make people pissed off and angry instead of solving the problem. They want to focus on, oh, it's the price of eggs. Oh, look at Target. Shoes are up 3.2984 and 0.3%. It's bullshit. It's clickbait. It's rage bait. It's designed to make you angry. People went to the voting booth, including people in my life who are not good people, and would not vote for the black woman. That's it. They were triggered by a black man in the White House instead of out in the fields picking their cotton. They want the outside of the White House to look like the inside of the White House. They want to maintain traditional family values, which means Leave It to Beaver, old AMC movies, Cheers, Silver Spoons, all the white movies where the black people are demonized as gangsters with gold teeth that are just trying to hurt all the white people. That's what they want. And for white people look like me, your silence is complicity. We will not remember the words of our enemies, rather the silence of our friends. Again, I'm going to be a molder of consensus. If you think that going out and protesting on a Saturday when it's convenient outside of working hours is going to do something, it ain't. It's not even close enough. You're not willing to be uncomfortable. You're not willing to stop spending and paying taxes. You're not willing to talk to your family members. You're not willing to post publicly because Uncle Bob might be upset. You're complicit in what's happening. Just like the 3 officers that stood by and watched George Floyd get murdered by the white man. Very symbolic of what's happening right now. You are no different because you're not willing to be uncomfortable. And until you are, this is on you, white people. It is. Your silence is complicity. Your unwillingness since 1619 to have this conversation. You don't think that I've lost friends and family? I don't give a damn. I don't care if you're related to me. If you're going to vote for a child molester and an adjudicated rapist and a convicted felon who's trying to overturn a democracy, then you're just a shitty person. I don't care if our blood is the same. I don't care if you married into it. I don't give a damn. I don't. I care about the context of your character, not some title or bloodline. And too many of you are ignoring it because you don't want to be uncomfortable. J.D. Vance is talking about going house to house. Why don't you go read Anne Frank's diary during the Holocaust? Let me know how that worked out. Why do you think they're going out to Smalley and daycare? Because they're not white. But those same people had no problem voting for January 6th, voting for a felon, voting for a rapist president. Had no problem with that. And where are the Democratic officials pushing back? Are they protesting? How many have been arrested for getting into good trouble? Because I know one thing, John Lewis would have been in jail for good trouble. Even when Al Green stood up in Congress last year, Democrats didn't do a damn thing. They stood there and watched it happen. Then they censured him. That's the Democratic Party. We pay taxes. We're funding this mess. Everything that's happening, we're funding it because we're unwilling to be uncomfortable and go on a strike and shut this down. Until we're ready to use our power and people like me use our privilege to be uncomfortable, nothing is going to change in this country. It's not. This midterms isn't going to do anything. If you don't think that this guy in power wants to have martial law and to cancel elections or pause elections altogether, you don't think he's going to say it's rigged and fake news? He just took the voting ballots from Texas. What do you think Pam Body's going to do with those? Whatever it is, it ain't good, I can tell you that. When the Supreme Court overturns the Voting Rights Act and they gerrymander the hell out of districts and take away black representation, how do you think that's going to go for the midterms? Why do you think they're doing that? Because they don't want black people being represented. Go look at the demographic for the Jasmine Crockett and the James Tallarico race. I know it's shocking. Guess the majority that's voting for Tallarico. White men, white women, and Latino men, because they're misogynists. Go look at the polling for Zoran Mamdani. White men and white women were the only majority. Trump and Harris. White men and white women were the only majority. It wasn't about policy. It was about whiteness. I can make as many videos as I want, but until white people are willing to be uncomfortable, and you're going to stop sitting by in your comfort zone on a Saturday and just protest because it makes you feel good, because let's be real, that's what the No Kings protests are. 7 million out of 300 million, that's it. 75 million people voted for Harris. Not even 10% of those went out to protest. It's a white participation trophy. I'm just keeping it 100. It ain't doing a damn thing. Until you're willing to walk off jobs and not pay federal taxes and do this and protest every damn day, nothing's going to change. Our black brothers and sisters would protest for 18 months at a time. They did a wildcat strike in France back in the 80s. For 6 weeks, they went on strike against the will of their unions, and they changed that country. Until we're willing to do that, we're going to get what we deserve. Silence is complicity. Have a good day.